How do you respond to disrespect? Disrespect is a problem that we all encounter in life, and it can be quite disturbing and frustrating. But what if we could learn from the age-old philosophy of Stoicism, which teaches us how to handle challenging situations with grace and wisdom? In this video, we will examine 10 useful Stoic principles that can help us deal with disrespect in a better way. As always, I challenge you to be strong and stick with me through the entire video. Let's get started. 1. Maintain your composure. Stoics, maintain. Calm. One of the central tenets of Stoicism is that our thoughts about our experiences disturb us rather than the things themselves. Epictetus once said, "People are disturbed not by things, but by the view they take of them." This means that when someone disrespects you, remember that their actions are motivated by their own thoughts, feelings, and opinions rather than a reflection of your true value or worth. This will help you maintain your composure and prevent their disrespect from negatively affecting your emotional state. 2. Take stock of oneself. One more significant Stoic. The practice of introspection and introspection is known as the reflect on themselves part of Stoicism. The Stoics held that our thoughts shape our lives, so we should constantly work to become better versions of ourselves and the people we interact with. Marcus Aurelius once said that the quality of your thoughts determines the happiness you experience in life. When you encounter disrespect, you should examine yourself and ask yourself questions like, is there any truth in what the other person said or did? Did I do or say anything that caused this situation? How can I respond in a way that aligns with my values and virtues? You can better understand the incident and your own part in it by objectively reflecting on yourself and the situation. To ensure that your replies are based on reasoned judgment rather than rash reactions, practice self-reflection. It fosters insight and personal development and helps you draw lessons from the circumstance. 3. Acquire the ability to stop pacing is a skill that Stoics acquire. When you are angry, you can be sure that it is not just an evil that exists now, but that you have developed a habit. Stoics value self-control and reason, and they contend that when faced with disrespect, impulsive reactions fueled by strong emotions like anger or frustration frequently result in bad choices and needless suffering. The Stoic method advises you to refrain from acting on impulse and to instead take a moment to gather your thoughts. Refusing to react instantly allows you to better connect your answer with Stoic concepts of wisdom and self-control. It also allows you to regain control over your emotions and reply in a more measured and thoughtful manner. When faced with disrespect, this strategy frequently results in conversations that are less emotionally charged and more beneficial. When faced with disrespect, pausing is a crucial Stoic tactic for keeping your cool and making thoughtful judgments that will ultimately lead to more positive consequences and personal development. Those that practice Stoicism are compassionate. 4. Show compassion. According to Epictetus and other notable Stoic philosophers, Stoics believe in the interconnectivity of people, and that when someone acts disrespectfully, understanding their intentions and feelings can lead to improved relationships and personal progress. They also believe that you should seek for the good in yourself rather than in external objects. Stoicism advises developing empathy. Attempt to comprehend the viewpoint of the other person by placing yourself in their shoes. Empathy enables you to view the situation from a different perspective and recognize that the other person's disrespect may not have been motivated by hate or malice, but rather by their own worries, insecurities, or ignorance. By empathizing with the person who has disrespected you, you can avoid taking their words or actions personally and respond in a more dignified and respectful manner. Empathy also helps you understand the other person's perspective, feelings, and motivations. So instead of becoming defensive or angry, you can respond with kindness and respect. This will help you avoid escalating the conflict and maintain your dignity. The Stoic values of wisdom, compassion, and self-improvement are also reflected in empathy. You can deal with disrespect in a more positive and constructive way by practicing empathy. Before I continue, count yourself as an exception for making it this far into the video. Now that you have demonstrated your strength, let's continue to the end of the video. Empathy allows you to learn from difficult situations and grow as a person. Virtue 5 is the foundation of Stoicism. Focus on virtue. Cultivating virtues like wisdom and courage, qualities that enable us to live well and behave morally, is one of the basic tenets of Stoicism. The renowned Stoic philosopher Seneca claimed that virtue is nothing more than just good reason. Stoicism teaches us to focus on virtue in our response to others' disrespect. This does not mean that we should ignore or tolerate the disrespect, but rather that we should respond in a way that reflects our Stoic values and principles. This means that being virtuous is the same as being rational and consistent with the natural order of things. Stoics believe that virtue is the highest good in life and that everything else is indifferent. By concentrating on virtue, we may resist the pull of our emotions, uphold our morality and dignity, and develop as people. Stoicism pushes us to be our best selves, even in trying circumstances. 6. Accept acceptance. Acceptance is embraced by Stoicism. One of the most important aspects of Stoicism is learning to accept the things that are beyond our control, such other people's disrespect. We should be content with what we have and not worry about what we lack, according to Epictetus, who described himself as a wise man who rejoices for what he has rather than laments what he lacks. The Stoic dichotomy of control, which teaches us to discern between what is and is not under our control, is another benefit of Stoicism. Since we are only able to control our own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, and cannot influence outside circumstances or other people's behavior, we should not allow disrespect to disturb our inner peace, but rather accept it as a fact of life and concentrate on how we can better ourselves and our circumstances. Accepting disrespect with composure helps us prevent unneeded rage, irritation, and resentment. We can also develop personally from the experience, which enables us to respond to disrespect in a cool-headed and collected manner. The ancient philosopher Seneca once remarked that you have conquered yourself when you know how to deal with things that you should not take seriously. Stoics utilize humor. 7. Laugh a little bit. Stoicism stresses the importance of humor in helping us deal with difficult circumstances, while also teaching us to regulate our emotions and behave logically. When someone disrespects us, humor can help us maintain emotional equilibrium and prevent us from becoming overly upset or irritated. Rather than allowing our feelings to take control, we can choose to respond with a clever comment or light-hearted joke. Of course, humor should not be used inappropriately or excessively, but it can be a helpful Stoic technique to handle disrespect in a way that leads to a more positive and peaceful outcome. Establish unambiguous boundaries. Stoicism is. To be Stoic, one must establish boundaries. It's not about being a doormat. Rather, it's about being a rock, one that endures injustice and contempt without faltering. When someone disrespects you, you don't have to take it lying down or lose your cool. You can be calm and assertive and tell them what went wrong and how you expect them to treat you. You can also set reasonable boundaries that protect your dignity and self-respect. A rock that knows its worth and demands respect from others. A rock that controls what it can and lets go of what it can't. This is what Stoicism teaches us. It teaches us to be brave, strong, and just. It teaches us to respect others and ourselves. It teaches us to keep our composure and our dignity no matter what. 9. Decide to pardon. Picture someone's Stoics. When someone mistreats you, how do you respond? Do you become enraged or do you let it go? There is some insight to be gained from the ancient Stoic philosophy. Stoics hold that forgiveness is a gift to oneself rather than a favor to the other person. To achieve inner peace and happiness, you must choose to let go of the bad feelings that are hurting you more than anybody else. Forgiveness is not an easy process. It does not imply forgetting or accepting what happened. The Stoics teach that we should be merciful to everyone, but not blindly. Rather, we should be merciful in a just and compassionate way. Stoicism teaches us to let go of the things we cannot control and to concentrate on the things we can. While we cannot control how other people behave, we can control how we respond. We can decide to forgive and release ourselves from the weight of bitterness and anger. We can decide to move on with a sense of inner peace and tranquility. It's a triumph rather than a defeat. It's not a sign of weakness but of strength. It's a reward rather than a sacrifice. The ultimate act of self-care and personal development is forgiveness. Your perspective will shift if you practice Stoicism. 10. Modify your viewpoint. In the grand scheme of things, as the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius once said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." Having perspective allows you to see things from a wider and more objective point of view, which helps you avoid overreacting or taking things personally when someone disrespects you. When you look at things from a different angle, you may see that most instances of disrespect are small and transient. They don't impact your sense of worth or happiness. Additionally, you can understand that disrespect is frequently a reflection of the ignorance, insecurity, or weakness of the other person, rather than of your own. Rather than allowing it to annoy you, you can choose to ignore it, forgive it, or learn from it. Perspective aids in concentrating your attention on your objectives, principles, and virtues, what counts most in life. You can live a more fulfilled and peaceful life by using your energy and time to pursue what is good and meaningful for you, rather than wasting them on resentment or revenge. So, the next time you encounter disrespect, remember to use perspective. It will help you to remain composed and behave wisely. Stoicism is not about repressing your emotions. Rather, it's about managing them well. By using these 10 principles, you can remain strong and composed when confronted with disrespect and rude behavior. If you're new to our site, please subscribe and click the bell for more lessons on ancient wisdom. We sincerely appreciate your viewing, and we hope to see you in our upcoming video for more Stoic wisdom. Choose a video to display on your screen, then maintain your composure.